Today we're going to talk about different types of leases that you can find throughout the country in commercial real estate buildings and throughout our portfolio. There are, I would say, 3 to 4 major types of leases that are very typical in triple net leases, modified gross leases, and lastly, absolute triple net leases. So first is the triple net lease, which you may hear a lot. That's a very common lease, and you can actually find that lease all throughout our portfolio here at Excelsior Capital. These types of leases can typically be found in industrial or flex industrial deals. So a triple net lease is where a tenant pays a base amount of rent, and then they pay on top of that an additional dollar amount that covers taxes, insurance, and common area maintenance costs. So think for a common area maintenance cost, think of, cleaning up the parking lot or a landscaping cost. Triple net leases are great. They're a really good tool for landlords because we're able to push a lot of the operating costs that a landlord faces onto the tenants. So you would see that lease structure at a lot of our properties throughout our portfolio. The next lease that we'll talk about is a modified gross lease. The way you can think about that is it's very similar to a triple net lease, except it's just a combination of the nets. So for a modified gross lease, a tenant may be covering the landlord's insurance, but the landlord is paying their own taxes, and vice versa. The landlord could be, covering the operating common area costs, but the tenants are paying for the taxes. We actually have an asset that we own in Kansas City that is very similar to that. The next lease structure that we're going to talk about is an absolute triple net lease. That is a very unique lease structure where the tenant covers all of the costs of the property, taxes, insurance, common area maintenance, any repairs or anything, and the landlord is only responsible for the building itself. That's a little bit more unique. You would see a lot of those for single tenant properties. Think of a Dollar General would be a good example of that.